good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone, and with me tonight we have...
Pixie, who was unprepared. I'm sorry.
The Aiden TSK.
Shaggy.
Mars.
There we go. So, you may have noticed that the crew tonight didn't tell you anything other than their normal names. Well, that's unacceptable. We got to build some characters. We're going to do that in just a minute, but we wanted to say thank you to everybody that is here. We are going to be playing the inaugural game of Fistful of Dice. It has never been playtested. It is purely theory crafted in my own brain. So this is we're going to find out just how quickly my ideas fall apart, which is going to be super fast, and I am super excited that everybody is here to hang out and see it and play along with us. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build some characters. We're going to talk through it real quick. We're going to get to chucking some dice and have a quick, fun adventure. If you are interested in the document, you can find it on IO.
It.io. I have got the link. I have got the stuff. Did I unmute? Yes, I did.
There you go.
It is in the chat.
In the chat. Check it out. Pay what you want if you like it. Also going to be playtesting some supplemental rules that I have been working called For a Few Dice More. Because I like puns. That's what we got. A couple of other quick announcements for the weekend. Yeah, what do you got, Pixie?
Yeah. Pin of the Month Club is shipping out this weekend at the latest Monday. So if you have already subscribed to that Patreon level where you one of those tiers, or on the website where you get the Pin of the Month Club, please, please, please make sure that you have that we have your address. People who signed up before or up to the 15th of each month will qualify for that month's order. If you subscribe now, you'll be in line for January or February's, which we have not yet voted on what the pin is going to be, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you are a Patreon subscriber to the Pin of the Month Club, either through the website or again through the Patreon, please make sure we have your address so we can send you your shit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please and thank you. Super excited about that. And for our friends that are not always on the stream with us, if you guys want to take a moment, tell us about any projects you're working on, any channels you play on, any projects you've got going on. Now is your opportunity. Aiden, you got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I'm going to be a new streamer, and I have an entire homebrew campaign set up called the Forgotten Hellflame. I'm looking for players, so if we can arrange a time in a meeting, we can get that well started. The estimated time of it lasting is about a year or two, depending. So I've got a bunch loaded into it. So yeah, I'll be doing it on Aiden TSK on my Twitch channel, and we'll go from there.
Sounds great. Super excited about that. Shaggy?
I don't really have anything currently in the works or anything like that.
That's okay. We're just happy to have you here. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being a guinea pig of the night. And Mars, is there anything you want to talk about, Lance Orlando, or anything like that?
Well, Lance Orlando, we are starting back up soon-ish. Right now, we do have a bunch of our members up at Hogtown up in Jacksonville. So if you have a chance to pop up there this weekend, please heckle the gate guards. They love it. But aside from that, yeah, a relatively new thing. I've actually jumped into a podcast with a friend of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen his name pop up. Roleplay Gains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, longtime friend. He wanted to get started on some streaming and, yeah, invited me to his game. I'm like, you know what? I'll have some fun. I will terrorize my old DM again.
That's
just for good time's
fantastic.
sake.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's fun. Yeah. What is the channel? Do you guys know the channel yet, or?
I think I have the link for it. I just need a second because I was not prepared.
That's okay. I'll vamp for you for a second while you grab that. We can throw that in the chat. Want to make sure that we show.
Also grabbing Aiden's link.
Yes, let's get Aiden's link. We wanna throw people. Thank you from England with the morning. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna be working on doing some sort of weekend afternoon game. Just so I can hang out with our British friends more, because I miss them.
We've been talking about, if you're not in our Discord already, please make sure you get there, because Cody's gonna start running some possibly weekend, like Saturday, Sunday daytime games, not streamed,
Yeah.
just like in Discord for now. If you're comfortable streaming later, that's another decision. But like, just because there's so many people who are in different time zones who don't get to play with us.
Yeah.
And want to. We're gonna get to play with
Absolutely.
Cody, and he's a great DM. Have you seen him? If you've seen any of Disasters, you know that he is. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, and I'm real excited. I got the Strixhaven book for Christmas, and that looks like a ton of fun. So I'm excited to play something in there. So
Oh, and I did drop the link to my friend's channel in the Twitch chat. So, hey, if anybody wants to go jump in on Thursday nights or when he's doing his solo streams, heckle him, please.
good to know. Tell them Mars sent you. All right, friends. Let's play a fistful of dice, shall we? Let's do it. All right. Now, we did a little bit of pre-game setup. I believe everybody should have a bag of dice. Yes. Fantastic. Bag of dice. All of your different types of dice. Boop. Mixed in there. Big sizes, small sizes. Metal dice, gemstone dice, if you want them. This stream, we are playing my one-page RPG called A Fistful of Dice. That's what we're doing. First playtest. So, we have also picked our genre. So, before we get to the fun of pulling out a big fistful of dice, what type of sci-fi do we want to do, right? Throw out maybe some IPs, some properties. Like, are we talking alien sci-fi? Are we talking like Altered Carbon or Minority Report or
just straight up Star Trek.
Star Trek? Yeah, Star Trek, Star Wars, also sci-fi. What sort of sci-fi are we going for? That'll give us a shared common language as to what is expected in our story.
You mentioned Altered Carbon. I was about to say that.
We can do that if you want. If you want to do like it, that's a little more cyberpunk. That's a little dystopian. We've got some, life is unending and unfair, so it's a little dirtier. I'm on board with that. What do the rest of you guys think?
This whole time I was definitely thinking Star Trek, and then you threw Alien out there, but Star Trek's classic, so
Star
either
Trek-
one I'm good with.
Star Trek is classic. Star Trek or Alien. What are you thinking, Mars?
I'm tempted to just mix all three, but you know what? Star Trek does sound kind of fun.
Okay, all right. I'm seeing Firefly in the chat there. Pixie, what do you think?
Just like with the other thing, I am here to facilitate they don't get to play with you as often. I am here every fucking night. So I am letting them make choices. I am here to just help facilitate the adventure. Go.
Sounds good. Well,
I've also streamed for 6 hours on 4 hours of sleep already. I'm broken. Y'all get to run the show. I am here to shoot things.
sounds
Go.
good. Well, let's go with this. We're gonna do a spacefaring sci-fi. We're gonna do a ship. Okay. So it'll be Star Trek Firefly-esque, right? You guys are all going to be the crew on a ship. I'll need a name for a ship eventually. You guys don't have to do that right this second. But that's a very good outline because we all understand ship roles, right? Somebody's got to fly it. Somebody's got to shoot stuff. Somebody's got to heal people. Somebody's got to yell at people that they're making a mistake or whatever, right? We all kind of got the broad strokes there. So with that in mind, reach in your bag, grab yourself just a big fistful of dice, and drop them into your dice tray. There you go. Looking good. All right. Now, first thing you are going to want to do is you are going to want to pull out all of those percentile dice. Those dice belong to me.
I have small hands. I'm at a disadvantage here.
Well,
I have very small hands.
So,
Big
there are some variant rules for this where we just pick one player, and however many dice that is, we all take the same number of dice. But for this first pull, we'll just go ahead and go with what we got.
Only had 2 percentiles.
You have 2 percentiles. Pixie has 2 percentiles. That sounds good.
So you take 2, you take both of those, and I draw 2 more dice, right?
That is correct. You get to draw 2 dice of any kind of your choice.
Oh.
So what do you got? 8 and 5?
I got 4.
4. Okay. Sounds good. 4 more percentiles. Talroth. That's just gonna happen. We got to accept that.
Yeah, I got 3 percentiles.
3 percentiles. Okay, let me fish one out of my bag. This is a good lesson for all other future GMs doing this. You should just leave those out for you. And Shaggy, what'd you get?
I got a whole 5 percentile dice.
5. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, 5 percentiles for Lakoti.
Bit of a handful, but not quite a fistful.
Not quite a fistful. That is okay. We are glad to see it. So if I'm not mistaken, that is 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 3 is 12 plus 2 is 14. So our adventure tonight is going to have at least 14 challenges, I think. We'll see what happens. That rule might need some adjusting, but we'll find out. Great. So if you pulled all the percentiles that you pulled out, you get to now choose dice from your bag to replace those. But you don't have to choose those right this second. Just know how many that number is. That's going to be an important number for you guys as you build your characters. So our D20s are already assigned. They are the genre of sci-fi, right? So whenever we are doing something that is a trope, a staple, a mainstay of the genre, of the sci-fi genre, you are going to get to roll that dice. It's like a bonus dice. It's a D20. It is the biggest thing. Most challenges are 10 or 20 or 30. But 10 is the most common one. So a D20 by itself has the potential to yield you 2 successes, right? So we're talking like technobabble, pulling a cool spaceship move, right? Anything that you can be like, remember that time in this show that was sci-fi, did this thing? Be like, yeah, man, great, roll a D20. Let's do it. Now, after that, we start to assign dice to their different positions. And you may want to do a little bit of this out of order. You should think of who you're playing, and you guys can talk amongst yourselves. So the first thing you're going to decide for your character is your name and your title. Because we're on a ship, that makes titles super easy, right? Probably your position on the ship, your rank, right? When we're not doing something like sci-fi, that titles aren't inherently a part of. It can also be like a job title. I always think Fa Moscato, councilwoman, right? Say your title like it's the second half of your name, and it'll determine, it should inform your position in society. So, as you guys are coming up with names and or titles, or you want to talk about those, you're welcome to do so. The next thing you guys need to decide on is your job, right? So this and the title will have a little bit of overlap, especially in the sci-fi genre. But if you wanted to just come up with something like alien ass kicker, right? That's a perfectly fine job. That tells me what you do. The description should be, what do you do and how do you do it, right? So Buffy is a vampire slayer, teenage vampire slayer. Vampire slayer with style, right? She kills vampires and she looks good doing it. I understand what's happening here. That's what we're looking for in the job/style section. And then the last 3 stats are super easy: mental, physical, social. Put some dice on those. So what are you guys thinking character-wise?
Who's first?
Go ahead.
The first thought that came to my mind was like the engineer. Just like, you gotta have somebody who repairs a ship, you know?
Perfect. Engineer on board. So I like that character name, an engineer. And if I was going to do an engineer, I would, if you wanted to do a Kaylee engineer, I would think like cute but brilliant, right? So it tells me kind of how they, or like if you're talking Scotty, right? Barely intelligible genius, right? Like that's just sort of fun kind of descriptors, things that are going to inform who and what you are and what you're doing. So you can think on that for a moment, but definitely put engineer in the job title. Make up a name. Welcome to the hardest part of all RPGs, making up names. Second hardest part. First is scheduling. What else are people thinking?
Well, we do kind of need a doctor, right?
I think so.
I was gonna.
If you want to be the doctor, go for it.
More of the alchemist that is essentially healer, just not by name. Dr. Grimwolf.
Perfect.
You were so ready with that. I love it.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Grimwolf. I like it. So, yeah, doctor is also a perfect example of a title in the modern day, right? Doctor, lawyer, DDS, all of that sort of stuff. So, back over to Pixie and Tauroth.
Well, you said you wanted to just shoot things and blow things up, right?
I actually would. I would like to be some fancy ammunitions expert, essentially.
Security officer, weapon specialist.
Security officer. Yes, I opened the drawer of pickles. I would like absolutely to be the security officer, head of fucking security. Keeping all you idiots alive. No offense, Doc.
And come back to me when you get a shot in the leg.
Oh, like this one? Just currently bleeding? It's fine, I'll walk it off.
Yeah, walk it off.
Ammunition dispersal officer. Yeah.
There you go.
I will think of a name. Disperse.
Okay.
Cody, since you keep calling me Tauroth, I may as well go into spirit of that. Only this time, I'll have a decent charisma, and I'll be the ambassador.
All right. Sounds...
What is that like? I'm terrified. I'm so scared.
I get to be the talker tonight.
Hey.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Sounds good.
If you want to know why that's funny, make sure you catch up on our Disasters in Danger podcast, because Talroth ain't it.
He is very proud of his 8 charisma.
He is.
I figured up the style. The style's going to be lost in space. He's a little lost as far as what exactly a spaceship is supposed to look like. More used to the classical ships, so he's a little confused.
Good.
Breaking up.
He's confused and his tech doesn't like him. So the ship is clearly also upset and confused.
Yes, clearly. I assume the ship is sentient, because otherwise it wouldn't be working against me, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Well, that just added another layer. Is that the big bad we have to fight? Is it our own ship?
We'll see.
Oh,
no.
that'd be hysterical.
Yeah, but we called it, so now it won't be shocking.
Yeah.
Well, for Persona, my doctor, I've decided also, if you know Soul Eater, Dr. Frankenstein, or Stein, that is the persona I'm going for.
Okay.
I love Stein.
Sounds good. So we got some styles for those two. How about over here with our ambassador and our munitions expert?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's hard.
Okay.
It's very hard.
I would also say, like, if you wanted to be an alien, a robot, a different race, these are your opportunities to inform us as to what those are, right?
Starborn. I don't know, I'm throwing it out.
Do it.
I just had an idea. So I got the name is Sim Gear Pusher.
I love it. That's great.
And I figure he's a very advanced AI to the point where it's cycled all the way back to like being a human again.
Okay.
Where it's like they've got to physically teach him like everything what to do.
Yeah.
So it's like it's barely a useful AI at this point.
That sounds good.
Great.
That sounds real good. I'm on board.
Okay, do you think fix the neon catalytic converter? What? Not a car? We're in a ship.
God, the name is always the hardest part.
The name is so. You know what? We're gonna pull on the chat here, guys. We need some names. We gotta have some names. We gotta have some styles. And Pixie, like she said, she's been streaming at least 6 hours today, so we gotta help her out. Tauroth Mars spent his day retrofitting computers for his job, and is quite exhausted. So I'm gonna lean on you guys to help us out here. Droid, but runs on Windows 95. Exactly. Yeah. There you go.
Probably one of the most stable droids out there.
Oh yeah. No, that droid's still kicking. That's what the nuclear launch codes are controlled by. That's not true. It's far older than that. It's about 30 years older. It's we're talking the floppy disks that are like the size of your head. So, yeah.
Just the AOL sign goes off and he stops for a moment until it's done.
Right.
Somebody gets on the phone and he stops working.
That's yeah.
They try to contact another ship while they got a shot in them, and it's like, why is the ship still burning?
What is the ship? I've decided her name is Kiki St. Clair. It has just come to me.
Kiki St. Clair.
So Kiki St. Clair, I'm working on her style still.
I'm pretty sure
name.
Kiki is the style. I'm
style.
gonna say if your name is Kiki St. Clair, your style is real clear. All right.
Yeah, that's valid, actually. That is. I am both.
I'm pretty sure you're the bubblegum in the bubblegum milkshake, or in the gunpowder milkshake.
I am the
Gunpowder
bubblegum
bubblegum.
punk aesthetic.
There it is. Yeah.
But Kiki St. Clair, who is genuinely roller. She looks like a roller derby queen.
Yeah.
Like that is her vibe. Candy coated poison, yes.
There it is.
Candy coated death. So she's the aesthetic I want to be. I just continue accidentally self-inserting these characters of things I want to be.
And
sorry.
I just accidentally found out my name.
Oh yeah.
Old Ben Jones.
Old Ben Jones.
God damn it.
Nice. That's perfect. When you can't find a name, kids, look around your room and just start putting things together.
Also helps in world building. Just go into the medicine cabinet, into the halls of Mentholyptus.
Right? No.
No, tell them about Hortensia.
Okay. So in Hortensia for the PvP Challenger League, I was looking for a character's name, and my depression anxiety medication was on the table, and I looked at it, and so instead of bapropine, bupropion is the medical term. It became bapropine, so I just mispronounced it. And if you want alien names, Bail Bapropine.
And everyone hates Bail.
You just sort of say it with a little and you mispronounce it, and it's perfect. So yeah, medications are perfect alien names. Absolutely perfect. So we have our roles. You guys have your names. Pretty much have some styles. Those can be a little loosey goosey. We'll figure it out as we go. We want to assign a type of die to each of those. Now you're going to want to consider a couple of things here. One, the die size. Right? D12s are clearly going to have the potential to be stronger than D4s. But the other thing is, look at how many of the dice you pulled, right? If you only pulled a single D8, that may not be a stat you want to... Well, whatever the 6 is, you're super consistent on. Yeah.
Same, I also pulled a fuck ton of D6s because I have a bunch of the tiny ones still in there. So a bunch of them slipped in the middle.
Yeah. Thank you for gifting
I don't even
us
know
up.
how many D6s I have, but
Yeah.
all 9 of them are a different D6 from a different set.
Nice.
Same here. Actually, I only have 3 of them, but it still works.
So yeah,
Kind of
I
separating them.
separate them out. Look at them. That is going to be a good thing. It's also just sort of your first set. Remember that, because if you guys get the chance to rest, you will get the chance to draw another fistful of dice.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, and we get to replace the percentiles we drew as well, right?
Correct. Yeah. So also all the percentiles you guys drew, you may look at your stats and be like, oh, I want more D8s, I want more D10s, or I have no D4s. I should at least get one of those in case I have to do something with whatever that stat may be. So you guys are determining where your character's strengths lie. And for me, pulling the fistful is very much like, how'd you wake up today? Because there are days where even the least social of us is like, I've got me some talking pants on, and I'm ready to do it. And the nice thing is, in this system, for instance, if your social is the D4 and you have to succeed, and you have 5 D4s on there, you can grab every one of them and roll them.
Sorry, I can't count. There is another percentile that was tucked on the side, so you have another from me.
Okay. One more from you. Sounds good. So yeah, you can push yourself as much as you want in order to succeed.
Yeah, got that. You know what? Real quick change. I'm gonna forget the whole aspect, so I'm still gonna be Dr. Grimwolf, but just think of this. This is the alien-esque.
Okay. We're gonna go.
I love that.
So like under name or title or job style, like psychic alien, right?
Psychic healer.
Psychic
doctor.
healer. Yeah, metaphysical alien
I can
healer.
heal wounds and people can't see how.
Yeah. I love that. And you can absolutely define that in what you in how you title yourself. How you put your name, how you put your job title, your description, all of that sort of stuff. Thank you, Ubel. Thank you for the bits. I get to see the chat a little bit tonight. I'm super excited about it. So, as you guys are making decisions, let us know just so that we don't have pure dead air. But while you guys are thinking about that, I'm going to tell both you and the folks at home a little bit about our the supplemental rules, right? Because we've got the main rules up on the page right here, one page, and that fancy Western D20.
I made that on my stream. It was fun. Some of you were there for that.
That's right, made by Pixie. So we've got all of those sorts of things. On a few dice more. We're not standardizing our fistful for tonight. We're just playing it loose and wild. Nobody has dice with strange symbols, but there is some variant rules for all you Fantasy Flight game friends out there, or maybe you play Fate Core or something like that. So, do you have some variants for that? Anybody playing tonight have either metal dice, gemstone dice, bone dice? Perfect. Metal dice, I think, are the most common ones. Anytime you roll a metal dice to endure or survive something, you get to keep at least one extra metal dice, no matter the outcome. They're a little tougher, they're a little hardier. You get to keep them around.
If you would like to get some more... Oh, whoops.
Hey, Hype Train incoming! Thank you guys so much for the Hype Train.
If you guys want to pick up some more dice, we have 2 sponsors, Norse Foundry and Critical Dice, the Critical Dice, both of which you can use our discount code REPRPG for different things. In Norse Foundry, it is for all of your dice orders, and the Critical Dice, it is for your order of anything, honestly.
We have the REPRPG is the promo code for you follow the link, you get 20% off. Your non-subscription orders or REPRPG gets you 50% off your first month of the Endless Bag of Dice subscription. So
Of course you can help with hype, dead man. You are streaming currently. Why are you here? He's like, I have you in the back of my stream so I can listen. You're streaming.
thank you, dead man. You are
You don't have to multitask.
an
You can just do
absolute
you.
gem. Yeah, thank you so much. So who's made some decisions? All right, Shaggy. Shaggy's the brave one. I saw his hand first.
Yeah. So for my, I'm gonna start with D12 and then work my way down, I think.
Awesome, let's do it.
So we got mental for
Okay.
D12.
Okay.
Followed by the D10 for the name/title.
Awesome.
Followed by the D8 for the job/style.
Okay.
Then the D6 for physical and the D4 for social.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds real good for me. And what did you officially put down for name, title, and job style?
So the full thing I put here is for name, I put sim, gear pusher, engineer.
Okay.
The job, kind of redundant on engineer, with the style being lost in space as an android.
There we go. I love it. Perfect. I get a clear picture of that guy. Who's next?
Oh, I'll go. Go for it, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Let's go with
it.
Aiden.
That's fine. We've done this twice now.
The
It's all
whole
good.
show, that's gonna be them. They're gonna switch jobs by the end of it.
That's true.
They're gonna do each other's jobs. I'm calling it.
So, name and title. It is. I'm gonna stick with Dr. Grimwolf. He's a doctor, obviously. People don't understand how he heals. He just does it.
Okay.
The mental is going to be my D8, and my physicals are going to be D6. Then the job style or the social is my sad little 2D4s.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you guys for the continued hype. And so the name title was the D12,
Yes.
and your job style was the D8. Cool. Perfect. Sounds good to me. Let's head on over and check out Mars.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, old Ben Jones, the negotiator.
There you go.
And looking at my selection of dice here, I got like 1 or 2 for each, except for the 9 D6s. So those D6s are going to my social to make sure it's nice and level.
There you go. Nice and even throughout there.
Yeah, for the title, I'm going with the D12. For the ambassador job style, I'm going with my D10s.
Okay.
Mental for D8 and physical for D4.
Okay. Perfect. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Last but not least, Pixie. What do we got? And we are on a level 3 hype train, which is super exciting. Thank you guys so much. Dagon, thank you, Ubel, thank you, Barbie, thank you, Deadman, Kez, just everybody that is participating. Your love and support is absolutely phenomenal.
We love
So
you
thank
all
guys
so much, so much.
so much.
Makes me feel like it bodes. Me who did it right, you did it right. Head pat. So I am I'm gonna mute to practice the voice, but so it'll come out later. Thank you, Max. But I am Kiki St. Clair, Chief Kiki St. Clair, Kiki St. Clair, Security Chief. There you go.
There you go.
Candy Coated Vengeance. Yeah. And you're all round of applause to Cody for preparing this amazing one shot. That's true. 1-page RPG. We're gonna make some choices.
Let's do
with
it.
My 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 D6s. That is my job one, obviously.
Okay.
Mental is D4, of which I have 2.
Great.
Physical is my D12, of which I have 3.
Great.
And social is D8, of which I have also 2.
Perfect.
She ain't smart. She ain't good at talking to people. But damn it all if she doesn't have some fucking style.
Awesome. So your 10s are your name and title?
I don't have any D10s. Didn't draw a single one.
Okay. Do you have a dice assigned to name and title, or title?
I apologize. I didn't realize that was a separate D. It will be a D10.
There you go. You can. So if you haven't drawn to replace the
I have.
percentiles, now's a good time to do that. Good to
have.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I have no D10s.
And we can draw those percentiles through the game. Yes.
I would draw.
I'm gonna swap out then my thing. I have nothing. I want my name and title to be the D8. My social's a D10.
Okay. Sounds good. Any percentiles you've drawn so far, you should draw dice to replace them now. In the future, when you draw additional percentiles, like if you rest, pull a fistful, and you get more percentiles, then yes, you will get to replace those as well. That mechanic sticks with the game throughout the entire thing. Just gonna do some other quick shout outs here. Thank you, Crazy Chick. Thank you to T.E. Graves, Z Time Gaming, Brum 8869, Bex with Lethal Kiss. Just everybody, you guys continue to be absolutely amazing, and we love and cherish you, each and every one of you, so much. So thank you. I think the last thing that we need to do is we need a ship name.
Magan.
SS Farsail?
What we got?
Everyone, look around your rooms.
I mean, SS Farsail.
I like the
I'm
Farsail.
on
I'm
board
fine with
with.
that.
I have no problems with this.
Go with it.
Yeah, go for it.
I looked at a post in the back of my room, and my brain just filled in the words afterwards. So no, I'm leaving that one alone.
Great. Sounds good. That is how we learned what kind of art Mars keeps in his room.
Well, it was a poster that said Skyrim on it, and my brain just kept going with the words. So
You're
yeah, I'm
good.
just not touching that one.
Oh, for sale.
I also offer broad sale after the Broadway thing I have behind me.
Ooh, broad sale. Thank you, Dead Man, coming in with another 1,000 bits, trying to push us over the edge to that level 4 hype train.
And he did.
And he did.
And it worked.
I really, really appreciate it. Let's go with a broad sale. That way we can't make fun of it and say that your ship is for sale. Yeah, that sounds just a little better to me.
We stapled it on at the last second just so... That's what happened.
There
We
it
bought
is.
the ship.
Yes.
And
it
then
was
we
for
had-
sale, and we ran out of thing. It was supposed to be the Broadway, and that peeled off.
Yeah.
So it just became the broad sale.
Exactly.
There it is. There it is. I like it. I like it. Fantastic. So we're going to get into the adventures of the SS Broad Sail here. I am going to try to utilize some of my my supplemental materials here. I'm going to
Do
roll.
you have music?
Yeah, music is on.
Woohoo!
Is it not loud enough?
I don't hear anything.
Now I hear it. You're good. It's only on the Twitch. We won't be able to hear it. I just sometimes monitor it.
Got it. Ignore me.
It sounds great now.
Cool. All right. Thank you for all of your hype and all of your love. We're going to throw a couple of percentiles here. I am, just to see kind of where we are starting out on our adventure. Got a little chart here. So I'm rolling one for each of the players. Oh, nice. So we've got Pixie with a 2. We also have Aiden with a 2, and then a 7 and an 8 over here. So I'm going to use that stuff to set things up. But if you guys would like, you're going to have a little bit of free time to roleplay, to open us up, kind of get a feel for your characters as you guys are going. That is going to be so Aiden and Pixie, you guys, if you are able to have a scene together in which the main topic is one of you having misjudged the other, you will both get to draw a free dice from your bag. Choose a dice from your bag. Whatever you would like to do. A little bit of incentive for role playing. If you don't, that's okay too. Thank you for the hydrate, Barbie, but let me set your scene. Our adventures take place in deep space, here within the Milky Way galaxy, in the distant year of 2426. I don't know why I went with 6, just sort of happened. Humanity has begun to spread itself out beyond the stars, encountering countless sentient, advanced races. And some of them, they have come to develop strong diplomatic ties, treaties of security and technology, opportunities to explore and grow both culturally and personally. In this age of exploration against the deep black and twinkling starlight of distant suns, an age of privateers, an age of unified action, observation, has brought much of humanity under the same flag. Colonies begin to occupy both planets, moons, distant asteroid belts, mining for important minerals, and amongst the deep black lie dangers almost as dark. We join the SS Broadsail as it is in deep space along one of the far belts of the Milky Way galaxy, tracing along some distant stars. Your captain, thank you guys so much for all of your love, all of your hype. We really appreciate it. Your captain has, in the last 6 months, passed. Suffered a fatal how to put this, stinging on an away mission of one of the nearby planets. A well-respected captain, a captain beloved by all of his officers, large and small. And this is a relatively large starship. It is a starship that has a working ecosystem in and of itself, right? So we're talking a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 passengers, workers, civilian, military. You guys may be a privateer crew, but your captain, Dale Frostedge, has recently been stung. Now, good news is, in this distant year of 2426, death doesn't mean he's not in charge. That just means he has to live on the ship in a purely digital construct. And while he has no capacity to control the ship's systems, those the artificial intelligence uprising of 2375 had that outlawed. So they can help and be around, but you can't automate all of the ship's functions because of, dangerous robots. But Dale Frostedge is still in charge. And he has recently set up the communication alert for each of you to join him in the ready room at your earliest convenience. And you all have felt I don't know how you would, but you have felt the shift in your course to, it's been adjusted. You're not really sure where or how you are headed. While the starship is relatively large to make accommodations for all of these people, they are cramped accommodations. They are accommodations akin to, I would say, first-year college students. So some of you have the really high bed and the terrible roommate. Some of you higher officers probably have a solo suite. But this is life on the SS Broadsail. Because I got the highest percentile with you, Mars. I'm just gonna call you guys by the names I know you by, because your character names are brand new.
Oh, halfway through when you suddenly switch.
I will. Yes, I will.
Yeah,
you should be prepared for that.
That's why I picked something close to my own name.
There you go.
Kiki, Caitlin, it's very close.
Old Ben. What is old Ben up to? What are you doing right now?
Well, probably just being in my room, just reading over a few things for any past negotiations to kind of brush up on what might have gone a little more sour than expected.
Sure.
But
you are the official government representative on the ship. Even as the ship may be a privateer ship, like it may be personally owned or operated, there's very much a gray area. It is an official Earth Alliance ship when it benefits them, and it's not when it doesn't. So you're in a very precarious position.
Well, that's why I got to make sure that I just talk the right talk, and well, there's a reason I call it the negotiation bed instead of a desk.
Well, there you go. So you're in your office, in your room, when you receive the summons, as it were, to the ready room on the main deck. What do you do?
Of course he would be calling at a time like this. Of course. May as well not keep the bastard waiting. So I'll just throw some clothes on because, hell, I'm in my room. I mean, anybody walks in here, they got to deal with the goods.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. So as you're getting dressed, you head out into the hallway, and the Hypervader is there. But there is your neighbor, who you and them have been in a long-standing dispute since leaving the solar system to about noise complaints. Classic, right? And he is in the elevator, right? Sees you come out, knows that you're coming this way, and starts trying to close the door on you.
And just try to slide my way in.
All right, cool. So I'm just gonna try to roll in some early tests here. I think that's physical, but what else would you like to try to tie in with that?
I'm gonna make some social into that. Just no, excuse me, very important mission. You might want to hold that door for me.
Sounds good. All right, go ahead and roll me We're putting it at a DC 10. Let me know how many dice you are rolling. And if you fail, those dice come to me. You succeed, the extra dice go in your bag.
All right. Rolling 2d6s and a d4.
Okay, sounds good.
10 on the dot.
10 on the dot. Sounds good. So yeah, you're coming. They see you, and you notice that they don't hold the door, but they just stop trying to actively close it on you. And just in the last minute, as you're asking them, you get your hand in there and pull it open, and the gentleman that is there with you, an older gentleman. Well, what floor?
Oh, to the... Well, you know what floor the captain has his ready room on. I don't even have to tell you. You know.
Oh, of course. And he actually sort of has to kind of mentally roll through it. He doesn't spend a lot of time up on the upper decks. But yeah, he hits the button for you, and off you roll. Up next, Shaggy. Where are you at?
I feel like I'm in like the very lowest part of the ship right now.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Sim's kind of used to working on like earth vessels, like for, you know, boats. And so he's down here and he's a little confused because he's looking for the boiler room.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not finding it.
Right.
And so he's kind of like just looking at some pipes.
Okay.
And he's like, well, this pipe should go this way. Wait, no. This one's a wire. Okay.
Right. So, okay. And you're the second engineer, the second in command engineer. I don't think they know necessarily that you are an android of any kind. Sort of tries to get you to focus on them. It's like, all right, listen, we have our mnemonic devices, okay? We're gonna try to use those. And they start trying to desperately impart to you that you are in space, and that is what this is, right? So they are teaching you essentially basic engineering lessons, and struggling with it. So I am going to ask you to make a DC 10 check. I'm going to say it at least has to include your mental stat. I would think maybe job or style on the other one, but it is. You can let me know what the other stat you are rolling is.
All right. I think we're gonna end up rolling for the mental, and I think we're gonna do the name.
Okay.
Because it's like
it is dealing with you, who you are as a robot.
And my title, you know, it's
Yeah.
almost like you're kind of
Absolutely, yeah.
insulting my like position as head engineer here, you know, to an extent.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Thank you, Aiden, for the hydrate. Make sure everybody gets a little liquidation in you.
So that's a 6.
That is a 6. Okay. So what dice did you roll?
D10
Okay.
and a D12.
All right. So a D10 and a D12. Both of those go to me. So if we were at the table, you would literally hand me those dice. For now, you are going to put those away from your bag. You're going to put them away from your table. Gone are they, and this lesson is lost on you. You are. We're lucky you're not looking for sales, is essentially what's happening in this moment. And it is, your second in command is becoming more and more frustrated, and they take the moment. You know what? And just as they're about to sort of tear into you, the personal communicator sounds off. Right? There's the chirp ring with the captain's message. calling you specifically to the ready room, and I'm sure you are on your way.
Yes, he's like, hold that thought my second. I believe I've got a communication here. And he just, first he goes the direction he was going, and then he's like, that's not where the elevator is. And then he goes the other direction.
All right. Huh.
That man drinks. And he didn't before he got on the ship.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he calls back, make sure to check on the boiler.
Will do. So off you go. Now, Kiki and Wolfgang. What is it?
Grimwolf.
Grimwolf. The two of you guys are in the same place. Where would be like a? Are you guys in the? I just forget what it's called. Is it like the galley? Is that where you eat?
I was gonna say mess hall.
Mess hall, yeah.
Like
yeah.
I was gonna say mess hall. Where she has been essentially playing. It's like a more deadly version of ping pong up against one of the tables, because it's a laser.
Yeah.
And so if she misses, it will actually graze. It is like specific, so it's like real precision work. But she just does it lazily, like she is blowing bubblegum out, like and twirling the. She's a fucking vibe. Literally, imagine roller derby, cyberpunk. Google cyberpunk roller derby girl, and I am sure there's some fucking art y'all can. This is the one I went with immediately. Oh yeah, the big one that will open. Blue. Yeah, that's a vibe except for blonde pigtails. With like maybe blue streaks that are faded. Yeah, she is a whole fucking vibe. I love her. So she's just, and you can see there's these little laser grazes from occasionally where she's missed, and a couple of people in the mess have sat on the other side on purpose in case if it bounces back and goes, there's a singe on one wall from just this morning's still smoking a little bit. Unbothered. Just
best game for Deep Space. Best game.
yeah, I thought so.
Absolutely.
It's a low frequency laser. It's not actually gonna puncture a hole through the wall. It's gonna be fine. This is your security chief, by the way. She's tiny and she talks like this, and she has no fucks to give in the world. But I've killed Mars. I fucking broke him, and you're welcome, darling. So this is but you've also watched us shoot. You've also watched us shoot an egg off of the captain's head from across the deck, and it was totally fine, and didn't even tip over the egg, just shot right through, and it just, the yolk drained out, and the shell stayed right where it was. So, you know she's good at a job.
All right. Well, clearly hasn't, still has it, so, although so does the boiler room robot, so let's...
He's new, he's brand new, and so, you know, he's got time. I've been here for a while. I am a chief, after all. My goal is to forever come up with characters that make Crazy Chick do that. I love her. First Tex, now Kiki.
Grimwolf, what are you up to in the room? Are you just entering, or are you eating? What are you doing?
I honestly do not let anyone see how I eat. It is none of their business.
Good.
However,
All
I do
right.
give off that persona that even the name alone, you shouldn't question my existence or your procedures when I realign your spine, or your wounds that are gravely wounded just happen to reverse in polarity and just mold back to normal. You don't question it, it works, and you just leave it alone.
Absolutely.
There is the viewing-esque of Mewtwo himself, but off-put into a more mechanical nature. Though there is symbiotic organs and such, it's a very weird combination. The especially known piece is his tail. It is a bunch of little tiny pieces that kind of coalesce into almost like an exposed skeletal tail, all mechanical, and they would split off and just float around him, projecting images of medical records or a procedure he just did. Like, take all of the X-ray technology into his tail, and he could just swing it through. Like, it's a big ball of information. He just constantly is just swinging through information, analyzing all the patients. Some of them send like a little beam to people in the room, indicating that's their procedure, and he's just checking up on them. All he has to do is just, be around, and he just checks them out. And
Doctor, I do have a question for your species. Are you in? I'm assuming we have at least some form of uniform. Do you wear a uniform, or do you wear anything?
I don't need to wear anything, for the simple fact I have no
Shame or genitalia? Understood. Yeah.
No, it's just,
No shame or genitalia. What a vibe.
so there is nothing really to expose to be like, oh, cover up. It's just a big, massive, almost 7-foot symbiote. That's the doctor. Don't even ask.
On board. Yeah. Just wanted to double check. Absolutely. So doctor, you are in there. You're just checking up on people as you're scanning through them.
My normal procedure, people have cramped places to sleep, so they do need to be having constant sessions of chiropractic and adjusting.
Okay.
'Cause even though it's none of my business, it is still my job. My Fs go 0 most of the time because I do not care about your status. You
Great.
need something fixed, I'll do it, and get out of my office.
Okay.
She
And
is a
apparently you will
frequent
hunt them
flyer.
down if they don't come to your office.
Yeah. It is my duty to keep everyone alive, and I take that serious.
On board.
She is a frequent flyer, and I will notice, and the orb of information will just swing to her massive list of procedures and quick fixes that I've done for her, and a new one will glow up in red, and he'll just float towards her. He doesn't really need to touch the ground. It's just almost like a magnetic flow. He just never touches the ground, just right
I
over to her.
swear to God, Doc, if you blow off my concentration, just wait. I've almost got my record, and then you can do whatever you're here to do.
I don't need to do anything. For the fact that bullet you said wasn't a bullet, it matches these little lasers you've been playing on this little toy. Okay,
Toy? Toy. This is, and she looks and just, oh crap. She has it shoots. She gets angry at Toy because she invented this herself, and she's very proud of it. And she does lose her concentration for a minute as she turns to scold him. Laser goes off, and she fuck, and just there's a button at the palm of the paddle, just and the laser dissipates. And but right before it hits, people have piled up their trays like, no, like this toy has helped me fine-tune my, you know what, I don't even have time to explain this to you. She has no social skills just because she simply doesn't bother. It's not that she wouldn't be good at any of those things, she just doesn't care enough. That's what I've decided the bad social skill is sometimes, guys. Charisma isn't being bad, not being good at something, it's just not caring enough to try.
He's straight to the point. He doesn't like to flower it.
Yeah.
So next time you come into my office and I see that again, I'll just make it quick and do not waste my time. Do not mix it with your chiropractic appointment. They are different.
Yes, Doc.
That is all. And he just boom, and just when he talks to somebody, the tail kind of reforms into the tail, and then when he's off on his own thing, they kind of and they just read back into the information. He just is out the door.
Thank you, Chamnuk, for exactly pegging who I was going for. Thank you for taking the inspiration correctly. I've promised to cosplay her eventually. As the hair and the glasses. That is all. They're different.
As the doctor is making his way out of the mess hall, you both receive the same summons, form letter style, and you are now both headed in the same direction. within a few minutes, you all have gathered in the ready room. Probably Gearsmith arriving last, having come from the farthest away. As you all make your way in there, there is the holographic projection of the late Dale Frostedge. At ease, engineer. Everyone come in. And he's sort of in he's like walking through the conference table, right? Like it wasn't there because he's a hologram. Folks, we have a situation. We've just received word from the Earth Alliance that one of their nearby colonies has gone silent. It was supposed to make a check-in 24 hours ago, and they have received no such word. Now, normally, 24 hours wouldn't warrant a on-planet visit, but local surveying equipment of the 2002 GEL colony is showing limited signs of activity and life. So they have made a formal request for us to redirect, as we are the nearest associated starship in the sector. So we should be arriving there. I've already made the asked the helmsman make the adjustments, and we should be arriving within the hour. Now, I've chosen you all as our crew to make the away mission for some very specific reasons. We've, on the scans, show preliminary damage to necessary infrastructure. So, Gearsmith, I'm hoping that you and perhaps an engineering assistant can help get the colony back up and running, see what the problem is with their generators, if they've lost communications. If it's a mechanical problem, I want to make sure that we can get that sorted with. Doc, obviously, we could be looking at some injured colonists, so anything along those lines, want to make sure that we are prepared for that, although I do feel safe just sending you. As far as our medical team goes, you are very proficient doctor, not my own situation withstanding. And of course, Chief Security Officer Kiki have to make sure that we secure the colony. Now, Ambassador, I'm unfortunately going to have to send you along, as well as this particular colony has been known to harbor, how did the Earth Alliance put it? Daydreams of separatist action and independence with a late-stage capitalist agenda. So we are probably, if this is purely a mechanical hiccup or something along those lines, we're not going to be welcomed in there with open arms. So I'm hoping anything like that comes up, you're our man that can hopefully smooth that over for us. We do have an away shuttle that we are prepping for you all. So you guys have an hour. Make yourselves ready. Get any of the equipment that you need, and get it loaded up on the shuttle. We'll put you away. You guys can take 2 subordinate crewmen with you. Your choice as to necessarily who you think they should be, although I have my opinions. But then again, I got stabbed, so I'll leave this one up to all of you. Any questions?
Will you allow Ileana to join us this time? I know she messed up that spinal realignment. However, people learn. I fixed it. We can give her another chance.
Well, listen, if the team decides that Ileana is one of the 2 personnel that they would like to bring with them, then I won't block it. But really, the shuttle only has room for 6. I'm leaving you 2 emergency spots in case we have some form of evac emergency. Shuttles overloaded with people have difficulty flying. So ultimately, 8 is the capacity on the shuttle, as you all well know. I'm only saying this to reiterate it, not for exposition purposes. So it's ultimately up to you, team. Any other questions? Okay. I will be in my quarters. If you guys have any questions, let me know. All right, team. And he walks towards the door and just sort of dissipates on his way out. So, you guys as a team, you can choose essentially 2 secondary characters, 2 red shirts to go with you. For your equipment, what I would like to do is use something similar to the Blades in the Dark system. So this is going to be part of the supplementary rules. Equipment is essentially 1 load, 1 check mark per thing. Big things are 2, super big things maybe 3. So what I want you to do is choose one of your die, and whatever the high number is, that is the maximum amount that you can carry with you onto the shuttle. You don't have to tell me what all of the items are. You can sort of decide in the moment, oh yes, I have this, right? But kind of a rating for how much you are taking with you, right? The bigger the die size, the more you can carry, but the more conspicuous you are, the harder it's going to be for you to move quickly, for you to move quietly, things like that. But you could also have like heavy armor, that sort of stuff. What's up?
Does that equipment also include any sort of augmentations already applied to the body?
I'm going to say the augmentations are probably going to be calculated with your name/title die, because that deals with your, like, where you're from, right? You being a robot, Dr. Grimwolf being an alien, those are part of wherever you basically wrote android and or robot or alien, that's where that die is going to be tied into. So this is purely equipment that is like outside the body for this genre, for this game.
Sounds good. And does this one go back in the bag, or does it give it away?
So what this is going to do is it's going to be lost. It's not going to go to me. You're going to set it at its highest every time you're like, I have blah blah blah. You're going to increment it down, right? If I tell you it's 2, we'll make it 2. Most of the time it's going to be something that you need to do something, right? You cannot tell me I shoot the alien if you do not have a gun. But there are times where, like,
Why the fuck wouldn't you have a gun?
there you go. We don't know. But there are also instances where you may want something to make the effect better, right? So, like, I have a big explosive to blow up the alien. Like, all right, cool. Then I'll maybe give you a bonus to your die, let you roll an extra die for free. I'm kind of feeling out equipment rules, but because it is a sort of important portion sometimes in sci-fi, I wanted to kind of test that out. So there you go. There's my my thought processes on those. So just let me know what die you guys pick. Doesn't have to be one of your pull dies. You can choose a type, draw it from your bag, set it up, and yeah, it'll be lost. It won't go to me. It won't go back in the bag. What are you thinking, Kiki? How much stuff you bringing?
Yeah, that's the struggle. Is I want to bring a weapon for. I want to bring a D12's worth of fucking shit, but that feels like a mistake.
I mean, it's really up to you. You're losing the D12 potentially from your bag, so you're not going to be able to draw it, but it could be very useful for you. I mean, you can also pull like a D10 or a D8. I know that, like, talking Blades in the Dark, heavy load is like 6, so a D12 is double that, right? So
Yeah.
so think of it like if D12 is probably a 6, because things are going to probably have to be like 2 loads usually.
Yeah, I don't want to be super heavy load because
Okay.
I need to run around and shoot shit. So
Yeah.
I'm actually going to defer to your opinion on this, Cody.
My opinion, if
For
you
me.
so if you wanted to go like heavy soldier, if you wanted to wear armor, if you wanted to wear heavy armor, I would say a 10 or a 12. If you wanted to wear sort of regular or lightish armor, I would go with like an 8. Or if
I'm
you just wanted to
imagining-
go light, I would go 4 or 6. So for you,
I'm gonna
the higher end of the light, I would go with 6.
8 probably then
8?
for middling because
Great.
I'm protecting. I feel like she's not wearing it. Like again, if we're going with the roller derby aesthetic, she has like a plate, like a hard boobs,
Yeah.
elbows,
Yeah.
knees, boots. Everything else is kind of fine. If she gets grazed or she gets hit in the leg, it's fine.
Sure.
There's one big artery there, but she'll be fine. Like it's the where the heart is. It's ankle holsters for guns.
Sure.
It's waist holsters. Like so, probably the guns are heavy enough that an 8 is going to be where she wants to go because it'll allow me some armor room and some of course, thank you. Some armor room and some good weaponry room. So
Perfect.
I'm going to pull an 8 for her, and this one again stays out separate from the dice.
Yes. Separate from the dice. Set it up at 8.
Starts on an 8.
Yeah, every time you tell me you got something, you're gonna tick it down. Yep, there you go.
I will be right back
Sounds good.
at his restaurant.
All right, I'm gonna go in order.
Okay.
Grimwolf, what do you got?
I am a minimalist.
Minimalist.
Because my tail is my main tool.
Yep.
However, if I do need to fight, I do not use weapons. Because why have something someone can take away from me?
Sure.
So it's going to not necessarily be that I can't fight. It's that my psychic ability is how well I can focus when I use it.
Sure.
So I could mess it up and not focus well, or I could focus really good
Mhm.
via like as well as I hit in that sense.
Yeah.
That's how I do my dirty work.
That you do not have to have an equipment necessarily to fight or do things. I would suggest maybe a D4, just because if you
have a
end up
D4.
perfect, great, yeah. If you end up needing a certain type of medicine, if you end up needing anesthetic or anything along those lines for when you walk away from people, right? I know you activate psychically, but always good to have a backup idea just in case.
That's why I have a D4, because I am a minimalist
Perfect.
and I'm built different.
Sounds good. I like it. Gearsmith.
So Sim, I think just I'm using a 6 here because I think it's mainly like his toolbox.
Yeah.
He's got so because the way he's built, he is built to be ideally an engineer, so he
Yeah.
has a lot of augments that help with that. But he also has some things in there that's like, kind of outdated. So he's got like a tire iron in there that he's got just if we get into some sort of scuffle, whack him. Most armor isn't really built for those old-fashioned weapons nowadays
Sure.
anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bash him on the head, they're out for commission.
Yeah.
So he's got that one in there just to keep it safe. The rest is mainly like he's got an inbuilt blowtorch, but he's got like extra parts, all that kind
Perfect.
of stuff you need.
Love it. 6 sounds great. And Talroth. Not
Well,
Talroth, Mars.
Just pick a name, I'll respond to it.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm also going with a 6.
Okay.
And just very, very light armor because I'm the negotiator. I mean, why should I be involved in any sort of fighting and conflict? I'll be talking my way out of it. Though having a sword or something might not be a bad thing mixed in with the alcohol or cards or potential bribes. I mean, gifts that I'll be carrying with me.
Very important to have those gifts on the ready. Sounds good. Last but not least, what crew members, what red shirts are you guys bringing with you?
Immediately gonna get my second there. Maybe
No.
pick 'em
Your
up.
second is staying on the ship because they're the actual one
Oh.
that fixes the ship. You
You're
get
right.
somebody else down the line.
It's okay. I'll get my third.
There you go.
I don't actually know his name because he never actually, like, properly introduced himself to me, because it was something where my character, Sim, just kind of, like, walked up and said, I am the head engineer on the ship. Hello. And then went straight to go to work.
His
He's
name
not
is
completely incompetent,
Sure.
but he's confused.
absolutely. Yeah, his name is Trey.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's something where he learns that just as he's inviting him. Oh, Trey.
There you
That's
go.
ironic. Because you're the third.
Don't have any food into this. And Ambassador, if I would suggest, do not squeal like a girl if you need my attention. You get hit, man the fuck up.
Well, it was only the one time that I squealed. I mean, they got me in a very vital part of my leg. It hurt like a motherfucker.
Your social morale suffered in case you weren't looking around. Kind of lose points on that. Just throwing that out.
I'd also like to just suggest maybe, like, does R6 include a, like, person who flies the ship to and from?
6 is 6. So
All right, yeah, so I'd say probably somebody to fly the vessel we're using here, just in case we have to make a quick getaway.
You know, that is not a bad idea at all, Geosmith. What about good old Wedge? It's like we haven't taken him out for a spin in a while.
Oh,
Is Eliana, and they considered, so it's probably a no. I will take that to give to you as the position whoever you wish to fill. I work alone. We
Okay.
will go with that.
thank you, sir. I think Wedge would be perfect for this flight. I've seen him in the training room. I still haven't grasped the purpose, but I have managed to repair that flight simulator once or twice.
Did you break it?
No?
Did you pass the level?
Level? No, I went under the machine and repaired it. I connected the wires. There's a loose wire because it appeared that somebody tried to input a false board, make a different training course than the one intended, and I was able to reroute to the correct board.
Here's a book on how to figure that out. In case you need it now, would be good.
A book? But thank you? He kind of sets it back down, like, on the table. It's like, I'll read that when we get back.
I mean, it's non-electronic. It's all there. It's not anywhere else in the ship. I'm just trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the last time.
Okay. Thank you.
all right. Well, with your pilot and your backup engineer selected, you guys load up your gear and make your way to the shuttle. You come out of whatever faster than light travel that we have established in this universe, and you load up into the shuttle with Trey and Wedge, your pilot, who, just as the bay doors are opening with the force field, the shield that is preventing it from compressing, sort of giving you guys the green light. All right, everyone, take your seats, strap yourselves in. Should be a pretty smooth ride. We have some turbulent clouds over the gel site, but we should be within the location in about 5 minutes flight time. And sort of pull some levers, switches some switches. You guys feel the slight lift off. The inertial
Just for
damper.
flavor.
Say what?
Just for flavor, the seating's like 2 and 2 and 2 like an airplane, or is it like a conference room where they're all facing
Facing each other, lined up on the walls. Yeah.
Okay.
There
He
there
will
is
just
the
look in
main
the middle.
pilot and like co-pilot seat, and then I'm just thinking like Star Trek style, like drop plane drop copter like lined up along the walls facing each other.
He'll just be able to manifest his own gravitational center. He doesn't need a seat.
Sure.
So he'll offer it to the lady instead. So she has 2 seats next to her.
For all the weapons.
Yes.
There are
Maybe.
there are like storage compartments above and below and along the
Nah,
outside.
she
Okay.
seatbelts Vera into one seat, you know?
Sure.
There's definitely Sim has his little toolbox in his lap, and he's holding it like it's a purse, like he's just like very excited, like he's excited to be a part of this mission. He's like just smiling the whole time at everyone, and just a little confused as far as like why everybody looks so unenthused.
I would die for Sim. I just have to say that right now. All fucking ready. I would die for Sim.
I would quickly pull up my instrument, like my tail, and it splits and just checks him one more time before we head out. And everything clears. He just re-manifests the tail and just... I'll never...
Sim has never visited the medical bay before.
The idea of watching of Kiki watching these two try to figure each other out is her popcorn. Like just that is her sitcom. She doesn't need anything else.
As you all take the ride through the clear space in the upper stratosphere, it is smooth, and as you begin to descend through the clouds, it is actually still pretty smooth. There's the field around the shuttle that does protect it from most turbulence. There is a little bit of an electrical storm that you guys are passing through. So at the very least, sort of the lighting is a bit ominous. And as the shuttle descends down through the clouds, looking through the pilot's mirror window up front, the screen that they are piloting by, you see the colony come into view. It is relatively large. Like it looks like a small city, not quite like a downtown with like high rises or anything like that. Most buildings are maybe 3 stories tall. There is a walled perimeter that is built out of rapid rise. You all recognize this as sort of colonizing construction, right? It's like prefab, it's built. A lot of these homes are sort of also like prefabricated pods that are dropped into place, locked into each other, right? And they're very modular homes that expand out. And you will hear Wedge over the radio, over the communication, making official requests for flight patterns, which is met with sort of a dead air static. He follows the protocol and continues to request landing sites, and eventually just tells you he's gonna open up a broadband communication to see if they pick up anything. And as he does, there is a brief moment where it is scanning the frequencies, very much like your radio on Seek, right? And it is rolling, and then you hear something. There's like the slightest blip that kind of happens, and he goes, "What was that? Hold on." And he reaches over to the dial and sort of manually on the touchscreen kind of tries to slide and finesse it as they make the way in. And just as he's just getting ready to set the ship down, as it comes within focus, and you just hear this old classical sort of Earth tune, just this ominous rolling of faint organ, and then it stops, and there's just a moment of time. Time belongs to me. This time is mine. And you watch. Go ahead.
You had to bring you off.
Before he can, there's a bolt of lightning that strikes one of the nearby sort of antennas. You guys watch as it catches part of the prefab building on fire. And I'm putting us down in the center of the town square. It's the clearest open space. Hopefully that'll give us an easy flight path up. And that is where we are gonna take our break. So we're gonna take a quick 10-minute break. We should be back at 9:50 to continue our adventure with Fist Full of Dice. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will see you soon, but until then, stay tuned. Good evening and welcome back, everyone. We are Random Encounter Productions. I'm Cody Stone, and with me tonight we have
Dixie.
playing.
Playing Kiki Sinclair. Kiki Sinclair, Chief Security Officer, Candy Coated Vengeance.
And I'm Adian TSK. I'm playing Dr. Grimwolf, and you don't have an appointment to get out of my office.
I'm Shaggy. I'm playing Sim, Gear Pusher, Engineer, and a little lost android.
And I'm Mars, playing Old Ben Jones, the Negotiator. And, well, anywhere is a negotiation table if you're creative enough.
There you go. An incorrigible cad. When last we left off, you guys were sent down to this Earth Alliance colony, this potentially separatist colony. And on the way in, you attempted to make contact via radio. Your pilot did. You got nothing back. You started checking all the broad frequencies and were met with this creepy song. Old, like, Earth song. Not one any of you really remember. But having heard that, just before landing, a bolt of lightning from the storm that you all had flown through struck one of the lightning towers and created a surge and caught fire one of the modular homes that was here. As the vessel sets down, what would you guys like to do?
First, analyze real quick, like I always do, checking everyone's vitals. Hearts seem a little bit elevated.
For sure.
Too alarming. So that's just going to happen with the whole data spinning around. The tail retracts back into its full tail after I'm done analyzing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will observe throughout the window what we can see on their current viewpoint right now.
Okay. The front of the ship is pointed towards towards where the lightning strike happened. The flames are sort of spreading, but it looks like anytime that they make it to the interior of any of the modular homes, the fire suppression systems kick in. So it's mostly superficial damage, but it is sort of spreading. It is a lightning storm out and above. There's no rain, but you're not getting any real penetrative sunlight. Other than that, the street looks empty. Dirt street, heavily traveled over dirt and stone. Yeah, that's kind of where you're at.
Perhaps we should seek shelter. The lightning does seem a little treacherous.
I was going to suggest the same thing. Let's please skedaddle.
Is this breathable air for you creatures?
Yeah.
Currently, yes.
Okay.
I do smell a little bit. So not sand in the air. It might be the lightning. Well,
As long as you don't taste charcoal. Let's move, shall we?
I don't taste much right now.
Don't forget your guns. Seatbelt in the seat.
I'm offended that you would even suggest that I have the capacity to forget my guns. She's already like, she is, before she is unseatbelted, the guns are ready. And she just kind of, with her elbow, pops open her own.
Your medical record says otherwise. He just turns and goes for the door.
Thought I had
Trey.
that scrubbed.
Sim calls back to Trey. Trey, could you carry my toolbox for me?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Thank you.
Okay.
Poor fucking red shirts. Oh my god.
Hands it over to him. Just don't touch the... It's okay. Just don't touch anything.
Of course, won't touch it.
Good.
Are you guys taking Wedge with you?
Wedge is going to stay in the ship.
I would like the pilot to be able to come get us if need be.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Can we make sure we have connection with the pilot's radio within, like, let's say, a couple yards, just to test it out, make sure, there isn't, like, some sort of intercept going on?
Yeah, so you guys get out of the vessel. You test the radios. They work well. You think a distance might be an issue later on, but the biggest thing is that the strong electromagnetic field, basically the charge of ions in the atmosphere, right before a lightning strike, it seems to break up the signal. And so it's a little bit of a way to kind of predict it. So for about, 20 seconds before, 20 seconds after, you can barely, it's very much like broken radio. It's like, you're only getting bits and bits, and then it clears back up.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, because of knowing how powerful these lightning bolts could be if it hit you, the thought of death excites him, so his tail will swish a little bit more erratic.
That's so fucked up. I love it so much.
Just out of curiosity, who's the tallest one here?
The 7-foot alien, I'm pretty sure.
I'm just gonna crouch a little lower so I'm not as tall.
There you go.
Just in case.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's got metal on him. It's like he's a lightning rod out of all of us. Ignore the
Looking
android. I've
all
got
of the-
synthetic skin.
All my guns are grounded. You pay extra for
Yeah.
that.
Okay. As you guys get out into the town square, you can. There's about 3 directions you can head to. There is the local government building that was the first building here. The first settlers, that was their, official like landmark building. It's probably the place where records are kept, where any sort of social services or like infrastructure would be. You can head to what looks like one of the main like city works, which is where the lightning rod is, which would be for like seeing about getting any of like check the power, check the mechanics, their radio signals, like that sort of stuff. Or you can go to what would be like the union hall, the workers hall, which is a little further away from where you guys are, but has where you would get the best information of like locals. You get a very eerie feeling about just there not being a lot of traffic, there not being a lot of people out, there not being a lot of signs of people at this point.
Is
Cody,
this
check your
normal
Discord,
for your
by the way.
species? Usually climbed up in a ship. It's normal outside from a ship.
This this is...
Listen, they wouldn't be sending us here if anything was supposed to be behaving normally. So
That's true.
he says something goes quiet and we gotta
Oh,
go
but-
check it out. That's kind of this would be the quiet
Oh,
about.
yes. Perhaps we should check that they have power first. You know, I'm sure even if they're in either building, they would appreciate that if they had power, radio signals, that kind of stuff. Worst case scenario, they give us a call on our radio if it works. That's not the worst case, is it? Worst case is probably like something else is going on. I don't know. I don't know what the worst case is.
She starts listing off worst cases. Cannibals like they had on Montreal. On 789 out in the Nebula system. She's just like listing terrible cases and occasionally pointing out, I got this one right here. Wouldn't let the doctor, not this doctor, the other ship's doctor, my last job, stitch it up because I like the scar. Look at how it rolls into my tattoo. Like,
It is
she's
cool.
just, yeah.
That brief moment when Kiki, when you couldn't hear her, you got the thunder ripple.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's why we got this. So we're you guys are heading towards Building Works, where the lightning rod is. Correct?
The doctor is very excited.
Okay. Sounds good.
I've got Trey right. I make sure Trey's like right next to me. I've got like a hand around his shoulder, like.
Hi, Ravnos.
Hello, Ravnos.
Thank you for the raid.
Yes, thank you so very much. Apologies, we will continue with our adventure. As you guys are heading towards the building, you have a pretty good connection with Wedge. He does seal up the shuttle behind you guys, and is he basically keeps the engine running. Okay, heading towards the building works is not terribly far. There's maybe one more lightning strike, but it's much smaller than the one that you witnessed in the other on the descent. But it is just enough to kind of give you a pause of like, I'm going to go in this building. But you do. Inside the modular buildings, they are a little bit of cramped quarters for the doctor. They are probably just 8 feet tall, so he's very much near the top. These are modular, like trailer double wides, kind of basically, but there's multiples of them sort of locked together. So they do make some larger open areas. The part that you walk into is very much an administrative, like, reception area. There are some desks. There's plenty of sort of digital paperwork, basically, that is available. There are some, like, soil surveying stations and spectrometers for analyzing local minerals, all of that sort of stuff. And then there are some connections towards the back, further buildings in the back, which you suspect is where more of the workings for the building are. As you make your way into this area, it is running primarily on emergency power. So there is like exit lighting, there's like some track lighting along the floor. None of the stations are fully powered or active. That's what you can see so far.
For the sake of realizing I'm gonna scrape my head if I keep doing this, I'm begrudgingly going to have to walk.
Okay.
And in my head, I'm like, oh, who left the toy room open? Because of all the lesser technology around me.
Sure.
So I close up my tail so it looks like just a prosthetic without giving away my vast technology.
Okay.
I think Sim's a little excited by all of the stuff to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of looks around and he's like, well then, where do we start? Well, I did mention power.
About the ambassador. You're good at talking when you're not squealing.
Well, let's see if we can find somebody to talk to. Unless you want me to sweet talk the power to come back on. I'm good, but I don't know if I'm that good yet.
Have you tried that before?
First time for everything.
It's not how it works. Let's proceed.
There's like a moment's thought, and he's like, meh. And then he kind of like goes to where the power is. He's gonna look it over a little bit.
Okay, so you start to head into the back area. It is, again, very dimly lit. There's not a lot of sunlight coming through, and there's only basically like the emergency lighting and a little bit of track lighting on the floor. So as you head back into some of the other modular pieces, they get progressively bigger. There's more and more of them stacked up, kind of, together. The first room that you sort of make your way past this section, there's some hallways. You get down a little ways. There's a locked door, and you can see beyond the door is the pump station.
Now this pump station.
For you, why don't you go ahead and make me an engineering mental check?
Okay, all right. So we'll do that. That's my D8 and my D12.
You can roll as many as them as you want. DC of 10. If you overshoot it, you put the rest back in the dice, in the bag.
That's a 3.
3 total?
I rolled a 2 and a 1.
All right. So you're going to give me, what type of dice are those?
D12 and a D8.
That D12 is betraying you, my friend.
I know, right? It's not doing me, it's doing me dirty, you know?
It is. It really is. You look in there for a minute, and this is the boiler room. You have found the boilers.
There's definitely a moment where he's like, I knew it! And he goes straight in, like, no questions asked, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, Trey, my toolbox.
Yeah, Trey brings the toolbox over. The door's locked. Are you just going to physical through the door? Are you going to try to unlock the door? What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, this is the boiler room.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have the key. And by the key, I'm gonna pick the lock. That's what you do, right?
Okay.
That's
Sure.
the purpose
I'm
of
on
locked doors.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. So what would you like to roll to unlock this door?
Okay, that's a good question. Can I suggest mental and physical?
On it. Let's do it. On board.
All right, D12. Come on.
All right, come on.
I'm gonna roll 2 D6s just to be safe.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, that's good. We've got 7, 16.
16. Okay. What are the dice? All of them?
That's 2 D6s and a D12.
No. So you rolled.
Oh.
What did they show?
Mental. 9, a 3, and a 4.
Okay. So the 3 goes back in the bag because you only needed the 9 and the 4 to succeed. The 3 goes back in the bag. Cool. Yeah. You get there. You get your like old school wrench, and just Android like bang the handle off of it, and open up the door. Don't bang it off. Like you can lock it again, but you give it a little percussive shimmy, and into the boiler room you go. For the rest of you, you're trusting what he means. You've seen some of this before. There's similar stuff on the ship, but this is you piece it kind of together. There is a boiler here, but it is more pumping water from natural resources and also water like purification and distribution, right? So there are some relatively large aquatic machines. You know, you can see the tubings, you can see the water running through them, and it goes down into the ground and sort of spreads out from there. They are not currently running because, again, the city is on emergency power.
I just had a quick thought. The
Yeah.
success, one of those, part of that success was a metal die.
So you do get to keep one for enduring anything, but yeah, sure, keep it. Go for it.
Sweet.
Okay. You notice that it is not there. Would you guys like to investigate here? You want to move on to the next room? What do you want to do?
I'll mostly just look around, see if I find people, just anybody.
Okay. Yeah. If you're searching around here, let's make it mental, and because it is dark and creepy, I'll give you a genre die for anybody that wants to investigate the scene. Mental and a genre.
Same DC 10.
Yep. Well, at least a 10 to succeed, and if you get a 20 or a 30, I will give you more and more details.
A 14.
Okay.
And these go. I haven't rolled for anything yet.
What did you roll?
I rolled an 11 and a 3. An 11 on the d20, a 3 on a d4.
So you don't need the 3 to succeed, so the 3 goes back in your bag.
In my bag, not on my pool.
In your bag.
Got it. Just making sure.
Yep. There you go.
I won't do anything because this is nothing medical, so I will not do anything.
Okay.
Okay. And I rolled a 13, so that's 1d8 back in the bag.
Okay. Sounds good. Kiki and
Old Ben.
there it is. Thank you. Kiki and Old Ben. As you guys are looking through here without the power, you how do you guys see in the dark?
Glasses. Got some. She pulls them. They've been used as a headband. She just
Okay.
bubble pop. Glasses down. Checking some. Making my die go down.
Cool.
She has played indoor laser tag and paintball in the dark before. These are the exact same goggles she uses for those
Okay.
training exercises.
Okay. Absolutely. Ben.
I've had to do plenty of moving around in the dark, so I'm just kind of feeling things out and just kind of getting that sense if I'm too close to something.
Okay, just winging it. Got it. As you guys are searching around, there is Ben. As you are feeling things out, you can feel that the floor here has definitely been disrupted. Part of it is broken. You can kind of feel it feels uneven. It feels shifty. It feels cattywampus, as it were. Kiki, with your goggles, you look over at a lot of the main water like distribution tubes and withdrawal tubes. Around there, normally there's kind of a fitting that would seal off the area around those tubes. That has been broken and sort of peeled in towards the room, so it kind of blossoms jagged metal into the room, and you can see these claw marks that are around those areas. It definitely looks like it's been kind of dug out.
May I use my I'd like to use my job dice or my title dice for security.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that feels possibly good. To see if I could see if anything tried to put up a fight against whatever was clawing in, bullet holes in the wall, anything like that, discharged rounds, laser burns, anything like that. About if I can tell if this thing was fighting out unopposed, if something was trying to stop this thing from coming out, like what?
Sounds good. Yeah, let's make it a job mental test.
Job and mental.
DC of 10. You can roll as many as you need, but any extra go in the bag. Failures go to me. Just
DC of 10, and my D6 is my job one, so I gotta roll.
and you can add mental dice if you have them and you want to.
That's what I'm saying. I was doing, yeah. Actually, I'd have to roll max, so I gotta roll 2. Yes, 2 of these. Yeah. No mental dice, gonna save that for later.
Okay.
I only have one left.
So there's no one except us in this area right now.
No one
I
you've
failed.
seen. Yeah. So what type of dice did you just give me?
D6, 2d6s.
2d6s. Okay. You don't see any. You don't see anything you're looking for. You're not sure. There's also nobody in this area.
Okay. Do those go back in the bag or do they stay up here?
Technically, you just hand. So if we were at the table, you would have handed those
hand
to
them to
me.
you. Got
So
it.
they go not in the bag. They
Nowhere
go
else. Got it.
away.
Just making sure.
Yep.
I would rather reiterate a few times than fuck it
don't-
up and yeah, got it.
I don't mind.
Carry on.
Stay. So I'm just standing there looking like I'm not doing anything.
Mhm.
I am monitoring where they are by how I mentioned my data comes up and
Mhm.
it's a little beam to them. That's the only way I know where they're at. If I
Okay.
really want to look in the dark, it hurts because it's almost like an X-ray. It just flashes, and it would just be a spectrum of everything scanned, and that I don't want to deal with that.
Sure. Sounds
So I
great.
just use my little data pads that kind of illuminate to it. One little beam, just I know where they're at, but I
Mhm.
don't know structure-wise.
Okay. Sounds good. What would you guys like to do?
Anyone found anything?
Nothing yet, but it kind of feels like the floor is a little uneven. Kiki, with those fancy goggles of yours, can you get a clear picture of what's happening here?
I almost just got. I almost went into text for the last one shot we did, and that's a very different character. I mean, yeah, it just looks pretty much like some monster in the bowels of this planet clawed its way up and ate everybody. But that's just maybe me. Maybe we don't want to look too closely. Maybe we don't want to take it back with us. Maybe we just get the fuck out. No, you want me to look? Okay, great. I would like to try again to investigate some shit and see if I can
What I'll say is that since you failed in this room, there's nothing else you guys can really glean from here. You can continue to move deeper into the building, and see what lies ahead, or you can make your way back out.
Okay.
But pretty much everybody that has you guys have tried and you've gathered everything that you can.
Could I solo go in deeper?
I mean, it's up to you. You're
I trust myself. So I'm going to daintily walk, because I hate walking, but it's too small of a building,
okay.
into the deeper
He's
section.
just annoyed that he has to walk like a poor.
Yes, because I just float.
Okay.
And I can't hear.
So you head back into the hallway. This is sort of an offshoot building. You know that at the end of this hallway, most likely is the generators and the electric distribution center. Sort of this was water and waste. That is electricity, and whatever generators are back there. Since you are walking, you are not floating, and you even if you were floating, you'd be scraping your head up along the top. Are you making any effort to move quietly?
No, I
Okay.
have zero F's about this.
That's fine. Absolutely. The rest of you see the doctor head back into the hallway and start. You can hear him. He's not making any effort to be quiet, walking on his big 7-foot monster feet.
I figured that I purposely make noise. Whoever's hiding will find out where I'm at, and I'll find them. Is what I want to try next. Is what is going to determine if it worked or not.
Okay, sounds good. So you're heading down the hallway. You've got about 20 feet to the door. Are you guys following him, or are you leaving him to go on his own?
I believe I'm in the boiler room.
You are.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
Actually, if we realize that baby boy has if everyone here could take care of themselves, Doc's probably it. Where the hell did the weirdo go? Oh, fuck. So she's gonna double back and go looking for boiler room Bobby, and hopefully find him.
Boiler Bobby.
You're welcome.
Great.
I'll kind of peek my head out the door to kind of keep an eye on the dock and look back in to make sure I have eyes on everybody. Just, I rather hate not to be by myself, so, oh boy.
Bitch boy.
Okay. As you're splitting the difference there, Ben, Doc, you make it to the end of the hallway. There's the door there. It is locked, just like the previous one. What would you like to do to open this door?
Purposely going to first a metallic piece that I'm wearing
Okay.
on the door and make it screech really loud.
Okay.
Let it screech for like a good halfway down the door and then stop.
Okay.
And then I'm going to listen for a heartbeat.
Okay. Then make me a definitely mental for the listening check. Is there anything alien special about your ability to hear?
I can, so it's not like a physical psychic, it's more almost like a sensory thing where like when I operate on people,
Okay.
I can hear and feel what's going on with the body.
Okay.
So it's more of that sense than visually seeing it. So I'm trying to find that if it's close by.
Under.
Just based off a scary scraping noise.
Sure. Okay.
Heartbeat, that kind of thing.
Awesome. Yeah, then go ahead and use your name die plus your mental die. We're going to set this at, because these are modular, don't roll yet. I'm going to let you know I'm setting the DC at 20 because you're going to have to sense it through metal walls.
Yeah, this is going to be a long shot. So
you can roll more than one die from each. You just have to decide how many dice you're rolling ahead of time. So if this is one you really want to succeed, grab an extra 2, grab an extra 3, whatever it may be.
2 D8 and a D12.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'll borrow a D6. So I really want this to work.
Okay. What is the D6 from?
Oh, sorry, that's from. Oh no, the physical. So the scraping.
Oh, the scraping? Yeah, sure. Go for it. I'll let you add it on there. Go for it.
Okay.
So actually, time out. So what this would normally be is there's a separate mechanic called pushing. So if you really want to succeed on something you've already rolled, you can basically sacrifice a genre die to me in order to roll additional dice of the chosen test.
Let's do that.
Okay.
One time.
So 1d20 to me, and with that you can get up to 2 dice of your choosing from the chosen test. So whatever your name and mental test are.
I'll do 2 more mentals, which is D8s.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh yeah. So that's 30.
30. Okay, great. Yeah, with the scraping of their, it at first you know that the electricity in the air, the thick walls, all of this is kind of hazing out your telepathic abilities, and then you focus them together, and through the wall you feel the rush of adrenaline, the fear response that you are very familiar with people that you startle, prepping surgery and things like that. Also, you can feel that there is a anesthetic in place with these with the people that are beyond this wall. In addition, they are bound. You can feel that their muscles aren't reacting, and they can't move.
Okay,
So
are these the only readings I can feel?
So those are the strongest ones you can feel, and because you got a 30, I'll go ahead and tell you there is a rush of an alien sensation you have not experienced before, and I'm actually going to ask you to make a name physical endurance test. So 10 as just this psychic feedback of this alien mentality.
So on that last roll, I take the lowest because that was way over.
So you get to keep up to you get to keep everything above 20. You lose. It goes back in the bag.
Okay, so that's 3 dice that are gone.
Okay.
Okay. Keeping that. All right. So 7.
7. Okay. It set the psychic backlash sets off this mental like anguish inside of you. This is your body reacting to a psychosomatic event that you have never experienced before. It sort of feels like rage. It sort of feels like pain and hunger. There is something alien beyond these doors.
I go knock, knock. And I hit the door hard.
Okay. What 2 dice did you just give me for
It was
name?
a D12 and a D6.
D12 and D6 for name and physical. Got it. Okay.
Ambassador, we've got company.
Oh, people to talk to, finally. And I'll start making my way over.
Okay. Yeah, you make it to the door. I'm gonna go ahead and give you, since you just failed the backlash test, the door does go open. The ambassador goes heading down the doorway, back over here with gear.
All immediately after, just putting that up.
Okay.
'Cause that backlash was not. It was exciting because like, ooh, death.
Sounds good. Kiki and Gearsmith, gear pusher, gear man.
Pusher, yep.
There it is. Got it. Gear pusher. What are you guys up to?
Well, I have found the boiler room, finally. It
Right.
happened.
Yes,
And I found him, I feel like.
you did.
And I think Sim, I think somehow he started actually, like, repairing, like, whatever, if it's working, if it's not working, you know, he started, like, working on it, you know, trying to get it up and running.
Okay.
Like I said, he's convinced it's the boiler, but he's also, like, looking for anything that's like, this shouldn't be, you know, spinning this way.
Well, so you do know it's functional.
Yes.
It's a little beat up, but it needs electricity.
Okay.
Yes. Not sure if
Well, then-
you the player heard that earlier, but yes, that was described.
Yes. I think there's a moment where he's like thinking about it. He's like, Trey,
Yes.
can you keep an eye on the boiler here?
He looks around the room, then he realizes, okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yes.
Got the boiler.
Yes. Excellent.
Okay.
And he has like a little strap on his toolbox, I think. And he kind of has it around his shoulder, and he makes his way back out. I feel like he intercepts Kiki as she goes to check on him.
Okay.
He's like, good news, found the boiler, it needs power. And then immediately turns to go get the power.
Okay.
I don't know much about how these sorts of things work, but I have a feeling if this place is running on boiler room energy, wait anyway. Was it missing?
So you know the generator is down the hall.
Yes.
Yeah. There
Yes.
you guys are joining.
No, that was definitely like his brain kind of shut down for a second.
Sure. Okay.
And then he's like, generator, this way.
There you go. As you guys are making your way down there, let me set the scene. So, in this room where the generators are set up, it is tight corridors of cable lines in not coaxial, but in like metallic tubing. They are run between some massive mineral sort of fusion nuclear generators that are almost floor to ceiling. It is nigh maze-like, but there are also towards the center of the room, there is a lightning sort of the bottom of the lightning rod that does kind of absorb and redistribute that electricity. It is a wonderful future technology because there's a ridiculous amount of power in a single lightning strike. The light in here is very dark. None of the generators are necessarily working, but occasionally you can tell the electricity surges from that central tower, from that central rod, through the cables and sort of sparks it to life. There's a flash of sort of blue operational light that runs through it and then dissipates out and down. And another one off on the side, a different green LCD sort of lights up with systems and settings, and then breaks back down. As you are entering this area, you can hear these muffled, panicked screams of what sound like people. They're coming from both the left and the right, but you can't see them beyond the maze of these walls. Doc, from your check previously, you know that they are probably bound, anesthetized, and in need of help to move, right? So, to be clear about what problems you guys have in this room, because this is going to be kind of our big finale for the evening. You have a let's see. You have a dangerous alien, which is a 60 rating. You have a 50 rating on the civilians that are trapped, to try to get them out. There's a 20 rating also on the civilians to keep them from panicking and making things worse. And there's an 80 engineering rating problem with these aliens and this electricity rod. So you can handle them in DC 10 chunks, essentially. Bonus successes if you hit another threshold. So basically a 10 or a 20 or a 30. I don't think anybody's going to get above that, but in increments of 10. But whatever you roll above, we go from largest die to smallest number rolled. Those you lose. Because you guys haven't had a chance to take a rest, how are you guys doing on dice?
Yeah, I've made 1-2 checks. I'm fine.
I
they
know
may
you
not
are.
I'm hurting on D12s, but I've still got 2. I'm mostly fine, I think.
Okay.
I'm out of D10s, but I put it in a bad skill because I drew 1, so...
Okay. So what I'll say is, if you guys want to basically do like a preemptive push for if you want to give up some genre dice and draw, you can do 2 for 1. Basically 1 genre, 2 dice. Now's your chance to do that, because we're not going to have a chance to really do like a rest mechanic tonight. But let's get to the real dice chucking. This is the scenario that you guys see yourselves faced with. I will let you know that the lightning strikes, the electricity, the building up of this has drawn these aliens out. They seem to be devouring this strong electrical current and have kind of taken over this area. So there's no initiative. You say you do it, and we keep going from there.
And this is all of us who have made it there?
Yes, you guys have all made
Right.
it at this point. Yep.
Kiki immediately. You said there's 2 big bads to hit, an
So,
alien and.
You currently don't see them. There are multiple aliens, however.
Got it. Good. Amazing.
yeah,
Well,
so-
then Kiki's gonna go full Men in Black and just start picking them off.
Okay. Well, I need you to make me a job mental test to
Yes, I will.
identify how many of them there are.
I will do so. Thank you so much. DC of
10.
always 10. Got it.
Not always, but mostly.
Okay, exactly. All right, so I got I didn't need my D4, so it goes away because it was excess.
Goes in the bag. Yep.
Yep. So that is exactly a 10 on the two of my 6s.
Okay, fantastic. So with that, you know that there are 3 dangerous aliens in here. They are currently hiding. So for every attack that you have to make against them, you're gonna have to try to find them in between.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Cool. May I do so?
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack. You just found them. Go for it.
Yep. And these 2 dice go to the side.
You keep them.
I keep them.
They
The
succeeded.
ones I succeeded with.
You keep
Yeah.
them.
Okay. Good. Amazing. Gonna shoot.
Good boy dice get to stay with you.
Good boy dice get to stay with me. Amazing. Okay, so I'm just gonna shoot, and that I feel like is going to be a job. And fuck it. Can I justify this being a genre one?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm using like real fancy. I will burn an equipment spot to get my first fancy gun
Okay.
out of the way, which
Okay.
has like heat sensors and laser and like appear like it looks like a pistol, and then she pulls it out and just all these pieces just boom.
Yeah.
Like,
Perfect use of a
so-
genre.
Thank you.
I'm on board with that. Yeah. Let's do
go. Let's fucking go. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
it. Okay.
And they're in chunks of 10, so that would be hitting second threshold, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah!
So with that, yeah, we're gonna tick that down 2 for you as you line up the shot across one of the aliens. It does sort of burst over. You see the ichor of its hard outer shell, and you get a look of it. It is a sort of chitinous armored humanoid, but off the back of it there are these thick, broad, upward pointed sort of spines with little arcs of electricity that are sort of Einstein globe like dancing between them. And
She shouts over her shoulder, I don't know much, Doc, but those ain't normal, right? She just, as she lines up her second shot, like, she's been in the med bay with enough creatures, to including herself, to know that's not supposed to happen to anybody.
Okay. Who's next?
I think I'd like to start going in there and trying to do my due diligence, you know?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know anything about aliens. What do you think I am? Some kind of doctor? I'm gonna go up. I think he goes in and he's gonna kind of. I think he has like a flashlight in one of his eyes.
Okay.
That he turns on and is like assessing the damage here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just goes in like using any kind of augments or anything he thinks like, is it a frayed wire? Like, what are we dealing with here?
Okay. First, what I'm gonna need you to do is make me a physical genre test, as you are gonna attempt to avoid aliens trying to get to the lightning rod that you need to.
Okay, that's pretty nice. That's a 19.
Absolutely. So yeah. What 2 dice did you roll?
I rolled 3.
Okay.
I rolled 2 d6s and a d20. D20 was a 14, and the 2 d6s was a 4 and a 1, respectively.
Okay. So I'll say you lose one of the d6s because you didn't need that for the extra, but you get there. Go ahead and make your job And what else do you think? You want to? I'll let you pick. You tell me with.
Let's go job and mental.
Okay.
And I think because I mentioned this, he's able to kind of like assemble a diagram in front of him.
Yeah.
Of like, like screens and stuff of like what he's dealing with.
Yeah.
I'd also like to throw in a genre, like kind of like, all right, so this is what we've got here, cross-referencing. Oh, okay, and like has the flashlight out of the other eye.
I will. I'm gonna give you job and mental. I'm not. I'm gonna hold off on the genre dice specifically on this one.
That is fine. That is still a good roll for me. Assuming I do well, that's a 15.
A 15, nice. So anything above the 10, if
both were needed for the 10.
Okay, great. Then you get to hold on to both of them. Yeah, well, you do get to tick that down by 1 success. They're looking good. So you start to assess the problem. They have hardwired this lightning rod to all of these. They've frayed those lines to the generators. Basically, they're devouring that electricity that is coming off of there. Who is next?
Well, here's the problem.
I'll go next, and hearing there's people in there, but also there's aliens. Seeing where Kiki's shooting, I'm going the other way to see if I find people.
Absolutely, yeah. Sounds good.
Would think that you come in and I'd immediately just show you where the people are. And I want to assist you in this. Like, I want to hear what you want to do, and then I'll tell you what I want to do to help you.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to start gunning for where the people are.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if there's fighting. If Doc mentioned that they were tied up, it's like, oh boy.
Okay. So for you guys to get to the people, we're going to do a genre physical test. Just to dodge aliens. I think that's very genre. So, and you, Doc, can make it at the same time if you are on your way to the people as well.
So my idea was docking a function of my tail for my D4.
Yeah.
I would normally have it as an emergency gurney, but instead it takes my entire tail. I will build a wall separating the aliens from him so he has a straight shot to them.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you basically give a genre die to Ben, and he can roll an extra genre die. That's how you help people.
Yes. My genre die is a D20, so have fun with that.
All right, so I'm rolling 2d20s.
Yeah.
And one of my physical.
Yep.
And this was DC 10 or?
10.
So that's a 7 and a 4 and a 2.
Okay. Well, the genre die from Grimwolf is going to be put aside back in his bag for assisting, and you can keep the others because you needed it on the 10. You do make it over there with the wall of the gurney tail blocking you from view. You see these people are sort of mucused up against the walls, their eyes gooped over, just like barely breathable mouth and nose holes, and you can kind of see the muscles underneath like twitching, but they're alive for sure.
Dr. Grimwolf, I believe this is going to be your area of expertise. I will be your nurse, as it were.
Just use a piece of the gurney and it'll detach, and it's basically, it's not comfortably held, but it does have a medical laser on it, and I will dock another equipment to make that happen.
Awesome. Sounds good.
And I will actually dock an equipment on myself to draw my sword and turn it on to get a little bit of that glowing laser edge on it, and just help him cut it down.
Okay, sounds good. So why don't you add a physical dice to his? We'll definitely make it a job, and you do most of this stuff psychically. So I'll give you a mental die on that.
So he's getting one of my physical die.
Actually, you know what? Since it's a laser sword, give him a genre die.
Take a d20.
Perfect. And then I will do this. That's a 26.
Nice. Okay. So anything above the 20 would go back in the bag. Ben's genre dice, it goes in his bag. That's how the assist works. Yeah, you're going to tick that down 2 successes. Basically, you come in with the laser cutter. It does begin peeling away the mucus. The first one falls onto the floor, sort of barely breathing. He's still going to need some help getting out of here. The first person, and the laser floating laser surgical saw moves over to the next person and begins cutting away their bindings as well.
Can I notice which one tried to communicate and backlashed on me?
That was the aliens. That was the
No, can I? Is it all 3 of them that did it, or just one in particular?
You're not sure.
Okay, that's
You're, yeah. If you want to make another, I'll give you a genre mental test. If you want to try to figure out which one.
I'm not going to waste my time. Instead, I'm going to. She is still working on one, so it would be exposed, right?
She just shot one, so it is. You'd have to look for it to be able to shoot it.
Okay, I'll draw it out.
Okay.
No, I will dock another item.
Okay.
It will be almost like a defibrillator.
Okay.
But it's the chess pieces that, and I'll just light them up and say, anyone hungry, and just provoke them for some food.
Okay. Yeah, give me a genre social test.
Okay. That is. Oh no.
While you're doing that, Doc, Ben, I want to let you know I'm going to need some form of social test to prevent this the victims from panicking and just like running into the gaping maws of
Or me getting in the way as I shoot things.
that too. Sure.
I rolled a 14.
A 14? You do draw one of them out. I'll get to that in just a second.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, as we're cutting them down, get the first guy down. Hey, look, if you can breathe, perfect, but just please don't run off. It's going to be a very messy situation very shortly. Kiki is working out some frustrations. The doc here, he has a few things he needs to settle. Just please stay by me.
Okay.
Working out some frustrations. Meanwhile, I would like to take my next shot so I can then come.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Make your shot. Make your social roll. Doc, you do start to draw one out, so she doesn't need to make the search test. You can just make the shooty check. What did you get, Ben?
I'm actually going to be using my title for the negotiator of this one.
Perfect.
So that's going to be my D12s, and you know what? I'm putting 4 social dice for my D6s into this.
Okay.
Side note for my shot, I rolled a d20 and the 2 d6s. I got exactly 10. I got a 5, a 4, and a 1.
Okay, that is one success.
Barely hanging on, kiddos. All right, you're on thin ice.
Okay.
I got a 25.
25, nice. So yeah, you're gonna help that one, and what I'm gonna say is, you can. What dice did you roll?
I rolled the D12.
What numbers did you get? Sorry, I gotta find a right way to ask that question.
10, 5, 4, 4, 2.
I'm gonna let you save one of those 10s for a later social test, so you can just set that 10 aside and hold on to it. Next time you need it, you can use it.
Sweet.
The bad guys are going to take a moment, devour some electricity. We're going to tick down the engineering checks, but you're gonna watch the one that had just been drawn out. 2 massive bolts sort of sear through its chest, and then the electricity surges down, wrapping around the coil like a snake. And then there's that loud popping bolt with the thunderclap off of like a Tesla coil, and this thing sort of absorbs that electricity, and you watch its wounds start to knit themselves back together as it becomes enraged. But it does reduce the engineering, makes it easier. It gets a couple of more checks. What are you up to, Gear Pusher?
is that because it's near my station there, right?
Yeah.
Would you say it's within like? So, I've got this plasma wielder, right?
Sure.
Like, or welder rather. Can I just blast it in the face with this plasma welder?
Yeah. Go for it.
Do it.
Sweet. What would that be? Physical, job, and could I genre dice?
I'll give you a genre and physical. I don't
Sure.
think your job necessarily involves plasmaing aliens.
I meant style, as in because I had the android under there. That was my bad.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Cool.
I'll give you. Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
Cool. Thank you very much.
It looks broken. Let me fix that.
One-liners will
no.
always get you a genre dice. That is my golden rule.
All right, so that's 11.
11. Okay, so
Yep.
yeah, you do get to get a shot off on it. You basically burn through the bits of it that had started to heal. It wheels about. It's massive. Doesn't really have like shoulders. It seems like its arms kind of just go up into its head, and it
I'd
kind
like
of wheels around.
I like to shout in its face as it's reeling back. I'm working here. Please back away from the zone.
Absolutely. Yeah. Doc, what are you up to?
So I've drawn him out. Is his attention on me wanting this?
He was headed towards you, but he got distracted by being plasmid. In oh, the other one. Yeah, sure. We'll make it a second one. His attention's on you. Perfect.
Cool. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna turn it up so
Okay.
that it's more chasing, so that when he gets within range, or I go to him, either way, I'll make it happen.
Okay.
I'm going to compress. Well, this is my attempt. I'm gonna use the defibrillator straight to its head,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna give it too much juice that a normal defibrillator wouldn't handle.
Okay.
Get hungry and just hit it and set it off.
You are attempting to overload its love of electricity. There is nothing more genre in sci-fi than fixing a problem by pumping more of what
Just
it
fighting
wants
fire with fire.
into it, as
Yeah.
far as I am concerned. If there's ever a solution that is like, oh, so it's like a balloon, we're just gonna blow it up. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah, go for it. Genre, and you tell me what you think the other die should be.
I want to use mental
Okay.
to guide the bolts on a more precise burst.
I love it. That sounds great.
I'll go straight to the eyes. It eventually gets to the brain.
Okay.
If any other perfect moment, it's a natural 20. 32 total.
32 total. Yeah. So if the 2 is on its own die, you toss that one away. You're gonna tick down 3 checks on the aliens themselves. They are almost incapacitated.
And then I'm going to yell back, "Are you done yet? Get them out."
I'm working as fast as I can.
If you want to use that shared 10, I'll let you basically have conscripted the first guy you freed into helping you free the others. So you can get a genre die on that, Ben.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, just going ahead trying to still freeing as many as I can, just kind of getting this guy to free others.
Okay.
So that would be 1 genre die, and I'm guessing social?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Since you know how to cut them open, I'm going to essentially command the piece to basically be an item for that helper to cut. So it's 2 sources instead of just you.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll give you yeah, that sounds good. Roll what you got.
All right, so I'm rolling 2 genre dice then?
Roll the 1 genre dice. I'm gonna give you a free fail on it because he's helping. That's how I'm gonna rule that.
All right, so 1 genre dice and 46. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
24.
Okay, yeah. So that's gonna clear up the remainder of the missing workers that have been plastered up against the walls. Let me get one last engineering check, if
Sure.
if you want, or you tell me what you're doing, Gear Pusher.
Is there one other last thing I can do?
Sure. What do you want to do?
That alien has been annoying me this entire time. Can I just try to yell at him to get him just to back off and leave us alone?
Sure. Give me a definitely a social, and I'm gonna go with job, not title, because it doesn't know your title. It doesn't particularly care. But you can say that being scary is part of your job. Let's do it.
All right, so there's going to be 2d10, and now you know what? 66.
Okay.
This guy pissed me off.
Let's do it.
So 10, 18, 21, 25, 32, 4, 34.
34. All right. So whatever was above the 30, you would lose those. But with that, the last alien is going to go screaming down into the bowels as you guys are grabbing the last person. A bolt of electricity wraps its way down the spiraling tower, and all
Can
of
I
the.
react to this?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Paying attention to seeing it like go down the first time and then zap and heal the one.
Uh-huh.
Can I use my last equipment to have my tail stop being a gurney and just be a conductor and try to absorb that instead?
Ooh. You can't. You can try this. It's very dangerous. It's gonna be a physical endurance test. So I'd say physical and name because of your race. I'm gonna set the DC at like a 30.
Can I use mental with it because it's my tail?
Mm,
Or less.
it's
You know,
it's less about you it's less about you being able to catch the lightning. It's more about you being able to survive it. So I'll trade
sure.
I'll trade you two. I'll trade you 2 physical dice if you have them for a genre die.
Oh, good, because that's a lot better than a freaking D4. Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna give me 2 D4s, and you're gonna get to roll one of your genre dice.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. I mean, this is back to that thrill of death. He's doing it.
Okay.
No repercussion. That is 12.
This
12.
doctor needs some therapy.
The
This
elect-
sucks.
the electricity, you send the pieces to start to be a conductor, and it looks like it would follow them, and then a spine with like a tongue-like sort of snapping sound licks its way up and catches the lightning bolt, and from underneath the building, this mini little quake begins as the hive queen of these electrified aliens sort of pulls herself up into the building. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a finale scene. I have dice that you guys have given me. You're going to roll against basically what she's rolling. You're not trying to defeat her. You're trying to run away. You're going to get to do a genre die for as long as you have one on every part of this. So I'm going to roll something that she does. You're going to tell me how you react and what you rolled. Okay? And anything above a 10 that you would put in your bag. There it is. Okay? If you run out of dice, you get hurt. We'd have you give up dice totally if this was a campaign, but I think for just the what it is, it sounds fun. So she's gonna pop out of this. Of course, the alien queen showing up absolutely is a genre dice. She's gonna just sort of physically menace you guys and start to dig her way out of this bottom piece, the electric rod sticking up out of her back, having been incorporated into her spines. So you guys you're trying to roll above a 12 to begin this escaping process.
And it's just genre dice?
You can roll genre dice with anything else you want to do.
Since Kiki's already has been shooting around shit, is there somewhere I can shoot to try to collapse rubble and stuff onto or around her to slow her down?
That sounds great. If you,
Right.
yeah.
I'm gonna use mental and genre then.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't have great mental, but I feel like I probably cannot. You know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna justify using candy-coated vengeance because vengeance. I'd like to smash a ceiling onto her.
Calling some vengeance. Sounds good.
I will scream like the Sunkeeper as I do it.
All right.
Fuck.
So I know I had said it was a 10. It's going to be whatever they roll. That's what you're trying to roll over. So right now
All right,
it is
great.
a 12.
Yeah. So the genre die.
'Kay.
And okay, I did all pink.
Oh, they're all from the
Candy
same
coated.
set.
No,
Okay.
they're actually not.
That's okay. One of the variant rules is if you're rolling dice from the same set and you get doubles, you can
The
choose to
2d6s
re-roll them.
are. The
Okay.
2d6s are, the d20s not. So if that is a thing.
There you go. Sure.
Exactly a 12.
Exactly a
A
12.
4 on the d20, a 6 on 1d6, and a 2 on the other one.
Perfect. So you beat the queen on these first two dice. That's going to go away. So Kiki handled the first challenge. As you guys start to drag people away, they are going to let out just a terrifying scream, and it is going to be all of their social dice, which is 7d6 and a d20. To try to demoralize and create fear in you guys. So,
Can I try to counter that one?
yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you what you're going to need to outroll here. So that's going to be 21, 26, 28. Gonna
Well,
need
I'm definitely.
Go ahead.
I'm definitely going social on this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll all 8 of my social dice,
Okay, and a genre die that goes with it.
and if I can burn one of my equipment points just to pull out a couple bottles of alcohol, just to kind of, if you all follow me, the first round's on me, but we got to get out of here first.
Yeah, how many points of equipment do you have left?
There's Telroth coming through. I was waiting for him.
There he
is.
Yeah. I had 1 for the sword, but I can burn 2 or 3 for just the alcohol because that's always important for negotiations.
Since you're using all the dice that I would normally give you, I'll give you a plus 1 for every die for every point you tick down.
So if I tick down 1, that's a +1 to the
The total of the roll.
total of the roll. Okay.
Yep.
I'll tick down 2 just to be safe.
Okay. Looking for a 28 or better.
And dice fell off the board. Hang on 1 second. All right, so 28 or better.
Yep.
I play a lot of rogues. I should be used to counting these fast. 31.
Nice. Yes. So
And that was just the flat die rolls. That wasn't without the bonus yet. So whatever that extra would be.
33. Yeah, perfect. So this terrifying roar comes out. You start yelling about, no, it's going to be okay. We got the ship outside and we've got the booze. Come with me. And out you go running there. I'm going to do, let's see.
Hey, Ambassador, they squeal worse than you.
So this is my turn. So you're gonna have to act in reaction to her. That's the way the bosses work. So this one is gonna be alien queen dice and the genre dice, this electric charged alien reaches out as you guys are now running down the tendrils back past the boiler room, past the water pump station, and the black sort of carbon like features of them start to ripple down the hallway, starting to catch up with you. There is bursts of electricity. She's basically electrifying the entirety of this tunnel. So this is probably the toughest roll. Well, maybe not. With a 2 on the genre dice. 10, 15, 20 for a 30 to react to this. Let's see.
Fuck it. What was she doing? I apologize. I was counting and eating.
She electrified the hallway.
That's what I thought. Okay, just making sure. Okay, good. I'm gonna burn. No, I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna bring everything full circle. Kiki is in the back. Kiki is in the back and would like to.
Let's give Aiden a shot to do something here. What do you got, Aiden?
Sorry, go.
Depends on if she's coming out with the group or if she's going to be last.
I'm holding the back line.
I'm going to say you guys are all in the hallway at this point.
Yeah.
You have been holding, but you are all at least together.
That's correct. I'll be back with you, and I say get your shots in. I'm going to try and tank this.
Her shots are Oh, don't try and be a hero. Can we assist? Can we both pair up on this?
Yeah.
Can we have a moment?
Tell me how you're doing it.
She looks at him with
touch one of her guns and just conduct it through me to her.
Okay.
Then she shoots it.
You know what? This sounds phenomenal.
Thanks for the raid.
Thank you so much, Deadman. 89, much appreciate the raid. We are at the finale of our adventure here. Yes, you can. So I'm gonna need your alien die. I'm gonna need a physical die. I'm gonna need a genre die. And then what are you doing with your? So if you guys are teaming up in this way, not like you're just giving a die to somebody else. This needs I think it's a big team up moment here. We're gonna basically roll one of each of these. So
I would like to briefly no, go. Yes, go.
So I think he's got the physical to survive it, the alien style, and the genre for doing the conductor nonsense. Mm-hmm. That's going to add up with your title, genre, and physical.
All right.
Here we go. This may hurt.
Title, genre, and physical.
Earlier.
Title, genre, physical. I'm rolling 2 of them are from the same set.
Okay.
Physical is a different die. Nope, they are not. Never mind. Title, genre, not job. Physical.
What was the metal thing? You keep it?
Yeah, you always you get to keep an extra metal die.
There'll be 2 in this.
I'll do the other thing if we survive it. It's good.
Ready? Pull goes off. I exhort it. Goes your gun.
And go. Oh, fuck yes. What do we have to beat?
Together a 30.
I got 21 of that.
15.
Absolutely. The electricity comes absorbing through the dock. It surges into Kiki's gun, and you watch. Go ahead.
She's right there. She's close enough to see me smile for the first time as the electricity just goes through me and into her next shot.
That's much more terrifying. I liked it the other way. I'd like to, just for fucking flavor, please allow me an indulgence. She takes the shot. I'd like a slow-mo following the bullet down. The camera shifts. See her grin back at him. Pop out her little laser ping pong thing. And she'd like to bat it at whatever doorway and collapse the door and break out the door circuits to close it back in after it is overloaded in this hall, so that if it explodes, it is stuck behind the blast doors.
Okay. Absolutely.
Because I like to bring the story full circle, and I have the toy.
Yeah, and you do, and it does. It collapses. You all make it out of the workstation, out of the Public Works building. Wedge is waiting there. The the ship comes. You notice it had been floating like a foot off the ground, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna settle down." Last time I went on one of these away missions, the captain died. Like, it was a whole thing. So he puts the ship. Go ahead.
Like flavor again, not necessarily just like a forceful pull to the ground. Like, hurry the hell up.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's sort of like there's a little puff of cloud as it impacts a little harder than you expected.
And I would say the survivors are first to get in before we do.
Perfect.
So I'll still flank with her in the backside of the group.
Sounds good. Yeah, the survivors are getting onto the shuttle, and you guys are making your final approach. And because it is not a scary alien without one final jump scare, up out of the earth, it attempts to swallow the three of you. As this little quake begins to happen, the jaws and the tendrils come bursting up. Oh, so 30 again. 11 plus 12 plus 7. So